So we're gonna do some computing pay examples, and this is going to be like your homework tonight. We're gonna end up doing 8 examples. Some of them are pretty straightforward. So these notes do need to be somewhere in your assignment that you're going to turn in. And I'm going to write the problems out on here. So Samantha worked 32 hours last week. Her hourly rate is $12.19. What did she earn last week? So if she worked 32 hours last week and her rate is $12.19, to calculate that, you're just going to multiply the number of hours by how much she makes per hour. Her hourly rate is per hour. So 32 times $12.19. And then so last week she made $390.08. So for these notes, yes, since I'm writing the examples, you should write the examples as well. And you can type it in your Google Doc if you want. With your assignment, you don't necessarily have to write the problems out. You could, if you're doing it in a Google Doc, you could copy and paste them to make it pretty straightforward so that you know what it goes with. It's just what's going to be better for you. But for our notes, yes, please write them out. All right, so number 2, Ari's salary is $2,600 per month. What is her yearly salary? We'll get more into salary later, but remember, salary is a set amount that you make no matter how many hours you make or how many hours you work. You're often required to work a minimum number of hours, but you get that same pay no matter what. So if she makes $2,600 per month, we want to know her yearly salary. So again, this was per month. We want to know yearly. We have to figure out how many months are in a year. So we know there's 12 months in a year. So we take this $2,600 that she makes every month and we multiply it by 12. Again, just 2,600 times 12. So $31,200. Remember, parentheses like this just mean that you're multiplying. So next, Julie's monthly salary is $1,800. Her monthly job hours are 150. What is her hourly rate of pay? So if her monthly salary is $1,800, her monthly job hours are 150. We want to know her hourly rate of pay. So this is how much she makes in a month, and this is how many hours she works. So to get the hourly rate of pay, we're going to do the $1,800 divided by the 150 hours. That's going to be what she makes per hour. So 1,800 divided by 150. So Julie is making $12 per hour.
Quick question.
Yep.
So you said that a salary is regardless of how many hours they work.
Right. Well, so like, yes, but some of them require you to work a certain number of hours.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So you can't just only go work 10 hours and still get paid your same salary. And sometimes it's a base rate, and that's what I said. We'll get into it more later. Sometimes you have your salary to work a certain number of hours, and then you might still be able to get paid extra on top of that. It really just depends on how your job is set up. All right, so number 4, Mackenzie's job pays her $1,900 a month. What is her gross weekly wage? So here, and these kids should kind of all say it. We'll get, again, more into that later. Your gross pay is kind of before taxes. So for those of you that already have a job and have worked, you know that when you get that paycheck, you see your pay stub and see how much you made and then how much gets taken out. So the gross weekly pay is how much you make before any taxes or any other sort of deductions. Also on this example, so this is how much she makes a month, and we want to know weekly. What we're going to do here is we're going to kind of assume there's 4 weeks per month. And I know that's not quite accurate. And so if it were a test or something, I would try to be more specific. I put this one on here because there's one like this in your worksheet today. So if she's paid $1,900 a month, we want to know how much she's paid per week. We're just going to round to 4 weeks, even though we know there's often 30 or 31 days in a month. So here we're just going to do the $1,900 divided by the 4 weeks. So Mackenzie's making $475 per week. So number 5, and these are all fairly similar. The first 6 are. Jack makes $59,000 a year. What is his weekly wage? So the same kind of idea on this problem. I'll give you guys a minute to write it down or get it typed out, however you're doing it. So if this is how much he makes a year, we want to know his weekly wage. So kind of the reason we're doing this one is to know how many weeks are in a year. So it's 52 weeks per year. So 59,000 divided by 52. So here we're going to have to do our first little bit of rounding. So it's $1,134. And then with money, we always want to round to 2 decimal places. And so it's going to be 6. And then because after the 1 is a 5, we're going to round that to 62 cents. So again, anytime we're talking about money, you want to use 2 decimal places. So since after the 1 is a 5, we have to round up. So he makes $1,134.62 per week, approximately. Number 6, Christy gets paid $0.08 for every piece of trash she picks up. So Christy gets paid 8 cents for every piece of trash she picks up. In 1 week, she picked up 9,347 pieces of trash. How much did she earn? So again, 8 cents for every piece of trash she picked up. She picked up 9,347 pieces. Remember, for 8 cents, since this is money, we're gonna wanna write that as 0.08, because that's how much it is in terms of money. If you just multiply by 8, then you have to convert to cents after. So 8 cents we know is 0.08 times 9,347. So for every one of those, she got 8 cents. So it ends up being $747.76. And then we're going to do 2 more examples. So computing pay as an entrepreneur. So remember, that means if you work for yourself. And we saw that equation in the notes yesterday. To calculate profit, it's your income or your revenue and you subtract your expenses. So as an entrepreneur, to figure out your profit, how much you make, you have to take your income and subtract your expenses. So here, Michael set up a lemonade stand. And he sold 150 glasses of lemonade.
What?
The price was 75 cents each. And his costs were $30. What was his profit? So he set up a lemonade stand where he sold 150 glasses of lemonade and they were 75 cents each. His costs to kind of maybe buy the cups, the lemonade, whatever he needs were $30. So we need to get his profit. So to get his profit, we need to do the income minus the expenses. So to calculate the income, how much money he brought in. So 150 glasses times 75 cents each. So 150 times 0.75. So his sales brought in $112.50. So this 0.5, again, this is money. Do not write a 0.5. If you just write a 0.5 and not 0.50, I'm going to take points off. Money always is 2 decimal places, or you round it to the nearest whole dollar amount. So his income was $112.50. His expenses, that's the same as his costs. So to get his profit now, we take the income, the $112.50, and we subtract the $30 that it cost him. So his profit was $82.50. And then we'll just do one more. I'll try to squeeze it in down here. The same idea. Michael set up a lemonade stand for 5 hours.
What are you getting?
He sold lemonade for $2.50 each. I probably should have went to the back. We'll make it fit though. He rented a table for $8 per hour. He spent $19 on lemons and $5 on cups. If he sold 300 glasses, what was his profit? Okay, so again, he set up a lemonade stand for 5 hours. He sold lemonade for $2.50 each. He rented a table for $8 per hour. He spent $19 on lemons and $5 on cups. If he sold 300 glasses of lemonade, what was his profit? So there's a lot more that goes into this one for his expenses. I'm going to do this kind of up here because I was running out of space. So his income, how much money he brought in, is how much he made from his sales. So if he sold them for $2.50 each and he sold 300 glasses, so we're going to do 300 times $2.50. So his sales brought in $750. That was his income. His expenses, he had different expenses. He had the table that he had to pay for, the lemons, and the cups. So the table, he had it for 5 hours and it's $8 per hour. So that's going to be $8 times 5 plus the $19 for the lemons plus the $5 for the cups. This part right here is for the table. So 8 times 5, we get 40 plus 19 plus 5. So his expenses were only $64 this day. So his profit then is that $750 from his income minus the $64 from the expenses. So he made $686.